people? How's it going? Welcome to the Fan House podcast. I am Javon, and today we'll be talking about Chelsea. Now, if you haven't known, Chelsea has hired Enzo Maresca as the new head coach of the football club. This is coming after the sacking of Mauricio Pochettino, who had one season at the helm. Chelsea has given Enzo Maresca a 5-year deal with an extension option, which could potentially see it for 6 years. This was confirmed by from the man himself, Fabrizio Romano. You can go over to Twitter and check that out. Now, this is quite a shot because I know none of us Chelsea fans expected Enzo Maresca to be the new head coach, given the end to the season we had. But then when you look at the entirety of the entire 38 game season, it was kind of pretty much up in the air, and it was you know what, cut the bullshit. It was pretty much shambolic, right? That was not a good enough season for Mauricio Pochettino, given that the squad he's had. Now that Enzo Maresca has come in through the door, what can we expect? Well, from my personal perspective, I expect his style of play and the quality of his football that he showed at Leicester City to be played. Now let's do a little bit of back review or deep dive or whatever you want to call it on Enzo Maresca. Enzo Maresca was a part of the City group, or yeah, he was a part of the City group, and he worked closely with Pep Guardiola when he was doing his coaching badges, and he was Pep's number two at one point. Now, fast forward, Enzo Maresca was a head coach at Parma, that's in Italy, and they didn't really do well. Then he got the job at Leicester City. Within his first season, he got Leicester promoted back to the Premier League. Him getting Leicester promoted back to the Premier League, he played some really good football in the Championship, and some may have said that this is one of the hardest leagues to play football in. So he got promoted to the Championship. He did fell off at the tail end of the season, but that's due to signings and some of his loan players being called back to their clubs. Chelsea, when they brought back Cassidy. Now, with that being said, still in my book not good enough to earn the job at Chelsea, because if you're going to coach Chelsea, you need some form of a CV. And when I say CV, I mean successful CV, because Chelsea in the past history is a club that is noted for hiring top managers and firing top managers when they don't do well. So the hire of Enzo Maresca signifies a new change in the philosophy of this football club. Granted, this has come with a change in ownership, and we're now under the Clear Lake ownership. Now, what does this say to me? This hire says to me that they're looking to go in a more younger direction, and they want to build, given the length of his contract, they want to build something at this football club. Hopefully this direction will build some form of sustainability once we get back to the top. The biggest question is on everyone's mind is, how long will it take to get back to the top? Realistically, I want to be challenging in year 25, 26. Let's give him another year. Give this project another year, and let's see what we can get out of it. Because last season we finished sixth, and I think we're 6 to 8 points off top four. And then we will build on from that. Given that this is a new appointment, now this Enzo Maresca, he has to build his own baseline of quality. He has to build his own standard in regards to where he sees these players fits in to his squad and his style of play, and build his own baseline on his players. And then next summer, you should give him the signings he may need to potentially compete. Now, with all of that being said, I want to say welcome, Enzo Maresca. Welcome to Chelsea Football Club. I like your style of play. Seen some of the highlights and seen some of the actual games you played with Leicester in the Championship, and seeing the type of football. Now, with that being said, let's take a look at how Enzo Maresca's football can affect Chelsea and how it will relate to Chelsea. Now, Enzo Maresca likes to invert the two fullbacks, and he likes to use a 4-4-3-3 formation, or a 3-2-4-1 formation. Right. Now, that being said, his build-up play is to be noted brilliant. In my opinion, I like his build-up play, because in his build-up play, he what's the word? I don't really slipping me at the moment, but in his build-up play, he likes to attest for defenders or anybody losing the ball. So in his build-up play, you will always see four people at the back, the two inverted fullbacks and the two central defenders. With that being said, it gives a license for the forward players, the two eights, as he likes to play with, and the wingers plus the striker to go forward and create more chances. Now, let me share my screen here, and we can kind of take a look at what we can expect. So this is the starting formation and what we can expect from Enzo Maresca. This Enzo is Enzo Fernandez. So just putting that out there. All right. So I selected some players who I think would be who would suit Enzo Maresca and his playing style. I have James on the bench because he got a red card and he won't necessarily start the season. So don't come at me too hard in the comment section. All right. So we have Petrovic in goal, Kukurea at left back, Badia Shield, Nathaniel Chalaba, Malo Gusto, Caicedo, Enzo, Palmer, Golden Boy, of course. Noni Madueke, because I trust him on the right side, and Nicholas Jackson and Nkunku up front. Now, with that being said, if we go and deep dive and take a look into his playing style, firstly, let's get the ball here. When he's playing out from the back, he likes to utilize the goalkeeper as an extra defender at times. So potentially, when we start to get into transfers, we may need a new goalkeeper to who's better with their feet. But let's just take a look at the example at the build. Why am I saying? So you would see when we're moving up the team forward, you would see the left winger go forward, Jackson would step forward, Madueke would step out wide because what he likes to do when he's attacking, he likes the two wingers to be isolated 1v1 against their opponents. Going forward, Enzo would step up, Palmer would step up with joining the attack, and Gusto would step up. Now, given that we would have these players inverted, during transition and during build-up, this is what we're looking at here. And you cannot go check out these videos on the Coach's Corner if you want better clarifications. But this is what I expect to be applied to Chelsea after watching that video and getting a clearer picture of his style of play. Sometimes, and when you watch some of his videos, sometimes when he build up, the ball can go directly from the keeper to a Caicedo, or even directly, from what I've seen in one of his Leicester games, goes directly to the striker. Striker lays it off, comes here, and then they go wide. Now, this, if you look at the shape here, barring the gapping hole to the middle, which would be here, if the ball is lost, he's always defending with 5 people at all times. Always defending with 5 people right here. And another thing as well, last season when under Pochettino, when Madueke came into the side and Gusto would fit, when we had those stringer games where we were just bossing everybody and we were playing good football, even in our high-scoring games, the link up on the right-hand side between Gusto, Palmer, and Madueke was good. We built up heavily down the right-hand side in those games, and we could see this be exploited more under Enzo Maresca. The only thing is, under Pochettino, the left side was left weak and with no link-up play. And that's where I think Enzo comes in. Now, in the past, under Pochettino, everybody was losing their head about Enzo being in that left half space because he wasn't necessarily giving any product. He was kind of in no man's land. He was in between defense and attack. Now, with Cucurella inverting, which we can see based on how Pochettino ended his season, that worked properly. When Cucurella inverts, that gives a bit of defensive stability with Caicedo. So Caicedo is not going to be left on an island by himself. And then Enzo can fill this left half space here. The ball can get out to Nkunku, and Nkunku can face his man 1v1. Now, we can easily substitute Nkunku for Mudryk. If Mudryk is given this opportunity going forward, Mudryk can utilize his pace to get in behind and then play crosses for Jackson, or Jackson can make a run and he can cross it all the way to Madueke. Cross it all the way over to Madueke, or Mudryk can cut inside and shoot, and vice versa can be deemed the same for Madueke on that side. Now, when it comes down to squad quality and squad depth, we do have the squad, and we do have a way better squad than Leicester City. With that, and given that as a factor, in games we can chop and change. So let's say Enzo isn't doing it for you, we can have Chukwemeka in that left half space. Right? Madueke is not doing it for you, we push Palmer out to the right, and Enzo comes back in that half space. Right? Let's say Chalobah does get sold, we can have James in that right centre back position. Gusto can invert, or these two can switch, which is very brilliant. Which is why I like that. Which is what I expect from Enzo Maresca, and which is why this squad is full of quality. If we were supposed to do a reset in terms of build up with these players on the pitch, here, just do this here. If we have something like this is a good starting 11 too, right? Palmer can get out 1v1 with the defender, can play the ball back. We can recycle the ball between these three. These three have a good link up. Chukwemeka can get in the left half space to link up with Mudryk. And we can have some combination between Chukwemeka, Mudryk, and Jackson. And as we've seen in the last preseason, Jackson and Mudryk can link up well. So that's also good too. The reason, I know a lot of people will attack me in the comment section. The reason why I have Badia Shield as a starting left centre back over Colwill is because the way Enzo Maresca likes to play, he likes to play with defenders that can pass the ball and that can give line breaking passes. Because his philosophy is sometimes he wants the centre, one of the eights, or even both of the eights going forward, to pull defenders out of their position along with the wingers. So that's why you'll get the 1v1 isolated, and then you'll have Chukwemeka, for example, in that left half space, comes in and pulls out another defender to create this pass, this direct pass. And as to what the striker does with the ball, that's kind of up to them. They can either lay it off because they will have the option, or as you guys know, Jackson can take the ball into feet, turn, lay it off, shoot. Scoring is another thing. Shooting or targeting is another thing. But that's basically how we should look to set up under Enzo Maresca, just reset here. And it's not to say Colwill can't make those passes, but he's coming from an injury. We didn't see him at the end of last season. So I just started with some of the guys that I think would benefit mostly under Enzo Maresca. Let me stop sharing it. Yeah, no, I'm back. Hopefully, I'm back to full screen. Yes, that's what I think. That's what I think Enzo Maresca will do. That's the type of play I look to see on Chelsea. A clear style of play, good style of play, possession based, as the club said they want to move that direction that the club wants to move it, and it should be good. When we're talking about players that who's going to be here, Gallagher may not be here, so I didn't utilize Gallagher in the example that I give. This is just one player that we can use. Petrovic might be a number 2 because he may go and sign a ball playing goalkeeper, someone that can link up, that can create a back 6, because at times when you build up that goalkeeper is that extra defender. And he may start calling over Badia Shield. Like I said, the examples I give is just my examples. Chelsea are currently in the market looking for another centre back. That's going to get sorted out. Hopefully, we do need another left winger, in my opinion, because Sterling will leave, and Mudryk is not the best over a 38-game season from what I've seen. And we have links to Olise. The only thing I know for sure is that we definitely need a striker. Once we get that sorted, we should be good to go. We should be cooking. Now, when it comes down to expectations, I want to see this style of play being implemented immediately. So, work on it in preseason. We got the Conference League games to play to go ahead and play off, because we're not in the Conference League. We have the playoff, so we have to qualify for that. And after we qualify for that, the first 5 games into the season, maybe up to 10 games into the season, we should see clear progress, clear style of play, and hopefully we'll start the season better than we did last season, and we'll have a better season. But yeah, that's all from me. Thank you for tuning in. Peace.